Was my mic muted?
Well, I was hearing you.
I know, but maybe my mic was muted. Let's check with the comments now. Am I back on yet? No sound from Karma Doc. Oh, my goodness.
Polly and... Well, this is not a good show to have no sound.
I know. What the heck is going on here?
Yeah. Let's see here. Hello. Okay, now I hear you, says Karma Doc.
Okay, all right.
Are you hearing
excellent.
both of us? Be sure you're hearing both of us.
This is John. Can you hear me?
And this is Marcia.
Hey.
I don't think they'll get us confused.
Okay. Well, as I was saying, but nobody heard me say it, so I'll say it again. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and all the best to you all for the holiday season that we're just now launching into here on December the 20th of 2024 from Mystery Island. And it's my great pleasure to have Marcia with me again for a Friday live chat with you guys.
Always nice to be here. Always nice to be with all of you.
And Karma Doc's here, Corky's here, Polly's here. A number of other folks have checked in. We've got a good crowd. Now, usually we would sing a medley or a number of Christmas carols, but this year I think we've decided to only do one.
Well, and we promised that to everybody last week. And this morning we're talking and we were saying there's just so much going on and so much to talk about. So we're going to limit it.
Right, but I'm excited because we've never ever done this particular song before.
Or done a song this way. We have prepared a special number just for you guys.
All right, so let me get the cheat sheet up there so we can all be on the same page. All right. There it is. Okay, and... Okay, are you ready, Marcia?
I'm ready. You ready, John?
I'm ready as I'm going to be. All right, let's go.
I really can't stay.
But baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go
But
away.
baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has
Was
been
hoping that you'd
so
drop in.
very nice.
I'll hold your hands, they're just like
My
ice.
mother will start to worry.
Beautiful, what's your
My father
hurry?
will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace
So
roar.
really I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't
But
hurry.
maybe just a half a drink more.
Put some records on while I
The
pour.
neighbors might
But
think.
baby, it's bad out there.
Say, what's in this
No
drink?
cabs to be had out there.
I wish I knew
Your eyes
how
are like
to
starlight
break
now.
this spell.
I'll take your hat, your hair looks
I
swell.
ought to say no, no,
Mind
no,
if I
sir.
move in closer?
At least I'm gonna say that I tried.
What's the sense of hurting my pride?
I really can't stay.
Baby, don't hold out.
Baby, it's cold outside. I simply must
But
go.
baby, it's cold outside.
The answer is
But
no.
baby, it's cold outside.
This welcome has
How
been
lucky that you
so
dropped
nice
in.
and warm.
Look out the window at that storm.
My sister will be
Gosh,
suspicious.
your lips look delicious.
My brother will be there at the
Waves
door.
upon a tropical shore.
My neighbors' minds are
Ooh, your
vicious.
lips are delicious.
But maybe just a little kiss more.
Never such a blizzard before.
I've got to get
But
home.
baby, you'll freeze out there.
Say, lend me your comb.
It's up to your knees out there.
It's really been
I'm
grand.
thrilled when you touch my
but don't you
hand.
see?
How can you do this thing to
There's
me?
bound to be talk tomorrow.
my lifelong
At least there'll be
sorrow.
plenty implied.
If you got pneumonia and
I
died,
really can't
get over that holdout.
Maybe it's cold outside.
All right, and a round of applause for us. All right, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and thank you for being with us for this past year. We're looking forward to a good new year in 2025, and but we got a lot to talk about this morning, so yeah, that was great. Thank you so much, Marcia. That was really fun.
Thank you, folks, for the nice comments.
Oh yeah, that felt real good. I wasn't looking at the chat. I was afraid to look.
Oh, I wasn't either. I
gotta
just
stick
now.
to them lyrics, baby.
That's right. How many times have we done it? We still look at the lyrics.
Yeah, well, that was our first performance, though. I'm
That's true.
I'm psyched. I think we got
That's the
something.
first time anyone has heard it other than Toto.
Yeah,
And they love everything we do.
they do. Sometimes they voice their approval.
That's right.
All righty. Well, let me see what else we. Let me get a drink of water. I'll be right with you.
Oh, you're going to leave me here to carry the conversation while you get your drink of water. I gotcha. All right. Well, a lot of stuff has been going on in the world. What's on your mind, John?
Well, since you asked, I'll tell you, and it's something I hadn't talked to you about yet.
Oh, dear.
It's called the Coming AI Companion. Everybody's going to get an AI companion in 2025.
Wow.
Yeah, when you get an iPhone 16 or the latest Microsoft product, or the Androids, whatever, they're all going to have in them this AI program that is going to basically be an alter ego for you. So whatever you hear, it hears. Whatever you see, it sees. Whatever you do, it's right with you. If anybody wants to know, who you are that might have access to the AI, they can then touch that and see your entire history on Google and Facebook and everything, and it'll all be put together by AI to describe who you really are. And then AI, in order to help you through your life, is going to prompt you as to, here's some ideas you might want to consider. Think about this, and I just was watching this video describing it, and I thought, wow, that explains, that's where all this is heading, is to get something into us that we become dependent upon. I mean, it'll be like having like a personal counselor with you, like, geez, what's the easiest way to accomplish a task, say, and they'll tell you, say like, okay, here's what you need to do. You need to go to get this and that and put these together. But to make everyone dependent upon this is that that great what do they call it, the singularity, the Kurzweil thing, where everybody is now attached to one knowledge base.
Ah, the hive.
Yes, the hive. That's it. Yeah. So that's what I saw. That was what was on my mind right before the show. But I haven't really explored it. It's like that's what's coming in 2025. Is everybody's going to have an AI companion.
Resistance is futile. You
Wow.
will be assimilated.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. No. I'll throw away my iPhone first. I mean, I would hope that the phone comes with settings that allow me to disengage, to get rid of this AI. And if not, then I'll keep the phone that I have until it's obsolete, and then I just won't have a phone. Of course, by then, what choice will I have? But oh my gosh, this sounds horrible.
You're the one that got me started on this stuff.
I did?
Yeah, I mean, before I met you, I had a little flip phone, and it was like for phone calls, right? And then in about 2006, when I was doing that show, remember, they started giving us our notices by text message. So I had to figure out what the hell is a text message and how do you find it on my flip phone? And I never succeeded. I was like, no, this is a phone, okay? I did not want to have to learn new bells and whistles. But then you and I got together, and it wasn't long before you were talking about, well, let's get some iPhones,
I don't think I got my first iPhone until 2012, 2013, somewhere along in there. I think 2012. But I remember I longed for an iPhone for the longest time. And finally I said, I'm going to treat myself to an iPhone. And the thing that's so weird about this, or I should say a smartphone, not just necessarily an iPhone, but the thing that's so weird about it is I'm listening to you talk about this time when you and I first met and you just had a flip phone and blah, blah, blah. I don't remember that. I don't remember a time in my life that I didn't have an iPhone. And I think back to my childhood and think, wow, we didn't have iPhones. How did we manage?
Oh, no.
It's terrible. We have become so dependent on those things. They're like parts of us.
Do you think that they're wiping our memories of pre-iPhone days so that
maybe that's it?
Nobody ever even conceives of not having an AI
smartphone,
an AI assistant in 2025. Like, of course I have one. Everybody does.
Yeah, but this whole AI assistant thing, no thank you.
I know.
I don't need it. I don't want it. It's just scary to think that my life is going to be recorded for somebody else to refer to for whatever reason they might need to refer to it.
All right, let's see what folks are saying at the chat room, and it's great to have everyone with us. Once again, thank you for taking time to join us for a Friday chat. We got to put this one up here from Corky. Marcia has torch voice. Ooh.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Okay. I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah. And a number of other nice compliments. Thank you, Polly. And currently reviewing old movie music, cultural forensics. Yeah. I think that song was from a movie.
Was it? I didn't know that.
But I'd have to look. So many people have done it, like Dean Martin did it, and if I recall, it was a 1947 or so song. Yeah. All right, thank you, Grand, and yay. Hey, Razvetka says it's Windows 11. I guess that's the Windows version of iPhone 16.
I'm looking to see. Neptune's Daughter, 1949.
A movie.
Yeah, Neptune's Daughter, okay. 1949.
Corky says, U.S. government pushing to monopolize AGI. Musk fighting it, must decentralize. AGI, I'm not sure. I guess you're just talking about AI generically, but this is a big issue. And actually, George Webb was pointing that out yesterday on his show, how there was this startup called OpenAI, and it sounds like, hey, I can do an AI. I can build a little AI of my own. I could create something, based upon the AI algorithms. And, that you would think, young people would say, oh, I'm going to build, the better AI, or I'm going to be an entrepreneur of AI technology. But no, they're shutting it down. they're making it a closed deal. And one of the things that I read, and I guess this is speculation, but it sounds true enough to me to repeat it, that the government is going to be controlling, and it's going to be and it looks like the two teams, the Peter Thiel team against and Elon Musk and them against the Bill Gates and those guys with their AI proposals. But
that is so not the role of the government.
But this is where it will be secret. It's like national security. It's like they have back doors to all the programs now. Remember that Russian guy that was the Telegram CEO, and he was forced to allow the intelligence agencies to have a back door into Messenger. And this sounds really Orwellian. Orwellian times 1,000 to me. It's like how. But on the other hand, hundreds of thousands of people are waking up and being aware of this stuff. Thank goodness for the freedom of speech that we do have.
Right.
And still
so far.
But this is the AI project is proceeding faster and faster every day, and they know where they're going with it, and we don't know where it's going. But not only are they getting this AI stuff into our brains, they're getting us to pay for the phone that puts it there.
Wow. That's a whole nother element. They're managing to assimilate us and getting us to pay for it. Wow. I don't know.
Let's see here. Polly says, I threw Siri from my phone. I think I did. I don't see Siri on my phone. I know you.
I think you've turned Siri off.
Yeah.
My Siri only works if I push the button. I don't allow Siri to be voice activated. Though, what was it recently I discovered on one of my devices? It was because I called you sweetie. I said something about, will you do something for me, sweetie? And Siri all of a sudden goes, I don't understand. Siri thought I was talking to him. I have a male Siri, but I set it so that it's only button activated, not voice activated, because I don't want Siri to feel like he has to listen all the time to see if I'm calling him.
So you like having a male servant then?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Something to...
You know what it is?
Something to know.
I'm jealous of the female Siri. I wanted her job. I would have been a better Siri.
You have a better voice.
I have a better voice, exactly.
You have a damn good voice. You have
I
a
would have been a much better
radio
Siri.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever I hear her, I think, how did you get that job and I didn't?
A damn good question. Let's ask AI. Yeah.
How do I get a job as your AI?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Raz says you got it. I guess I'm sure he's talking about the AI thing.
I like this comment that Brightmore Dinosaur makes about smart devices in general, this whole Internet of Things, which just I find so troubling. It's almost there, down there at the bottom. Because, I agree completely. And not only smart refrigerators and smart thermostats and, smart everything, but even if they're not connected to the Internet, the fact, and you and I have talked about this a lot, John, is the fact that every time you buy anything, you have to then bring it home and study how to use it and learn how to use it. And there's this learning curve that goes with everything. There was a time when we would buy stuff, we'd bring it home, we'd plug it in, we'd turn it on, boom, it's ready to go. Now you have to study how to use everything. And it's hard when you're old like me.
Well, it's hard when you have been, lived in an analog world where you
Right.
had to figure things out for yourself.
And not only that, I don't want my refrigerator connected to the internet. I don't want a camera on my front door that's connected to the internet. I don't want my appliances, and we're not going to ever have smart appliances in our homes. I don't need smart appliances. I want to plug in my refrigerator, I want to put my food in it, and I want it to keep my food cold, period. If I need to do an inventory of what's in my refrigerator, I can do that myself. No smart appliances in this house, ever.
Do they clean the shelves for you?
No. That's a good point. Maybe if they did, I'd be more open to the idea.
Yeah, that's one of the points that has been made many times, is that I want AI to do the work for me. I don't want it to, be creative for me. I want it to do tasks that I don't want to do.
Well, and there you go. We want AI to do the work for us rather than us having to work for AI. And we're kind of in this, as we enter this wild west of AI, it's requiring us to do all the work. And as you pointed out earlier, carry all the expenses.
And let's see. Brightmore says Peter Thiel's company led the way in contact, I'm sure you mean contact tracing, during the pandemic. And right, makes sense to me. But I didn't think there really was any contact tracing during the pandemic. I mean, I didn't see evidence of them, they started right at the beginning. It was like they wanted you to make this phone app, right? Mm-hmm. To download this app, and then whenever, you contacted somebody, you would know whether or not they had been vaccinated or not.
Well, also, if you were diagnosed.
Or if you were diagnosed, so that everybody could stay away from you.
And I'm sure, it's just the reason you never saw it is because you were never diagnosed. You never went to an emergency room and said,
yeah,
and have them say you got it. And then, who have you been around so that we can have records of this contact tracing.
Well,
So
maybe there was, but I think
Right.
it didn't. Well, I guess it went on behind the scenes.
It went on in other people's lives. The fact is, you did not engage with it.
And speaking of engagement with it, Corky's got a smart toilet.
Okay. Corky, how does that work? What exactly do smart toilets do?
Don't think I want to know the answer.
Okay.
All right, Corky, we're going to leave that one to you. Oh, okay. And automobiles for data mining, yeah. That's why I'm so happy that I have my car, a 2008 Nissan, with only 41,000, maybe 42, 3,000 miles on it. And I don't think it has the internet connections that new cars have now. And I hate those displays that, they're like the size of a notebook that sit on the dashboard now with electronic images and things.
Yeah, well, I have one of those in my car, but not as sophisticated as the newer ones, because my car's a 2016.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the backup camera that shows you, how to back up, but these ones now, they're just, I don't know. I don't. All I want is to drive the car from here to the store and back.
My friend Deborah has so many cameras on her car that you can look in all directions. It'll even give an aerial view. It can put it all together in a way that it can then create some kind of an aerial view of her car on the road. It's gross.
Okay, that's a good point. Freedom and community are ever conjoined. Yeah, you can be free, but you can't be free without a community unless you somehow are living. If you're a hermit, But, we need each other.
Right. For the most part. I mean, I suppose there are people who live so totally off the grid. I think the Unabomber was one of them. Suddenly his name is not coming to me, but, was completely off the grid and
Ted Kaczynski.
Ted Kaczynski. There you go. Thank you very much. But,
Right.
and you and I have known people who are somewhat disengaged, but yeah, it's hard.
The smart devices, says Patriot Designer, hey, the smart devices use apps that now have access to your phone and data. I just returned a smart outlet because of reading their intrusive access via the app.
Wow. And see, I think a lot of people buy this stuff and they don't read the fine print or they don't read the instructions or, whatever, the disclaimers, and they don't even realize that they are giving access to their private lives.
And Karma Doc, hey, I just learned that GM's autonomous driving / driver assist is centered in Israel.
Wow.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they're driving our Congress. They might as well drive our cars.
Good point. What was it the other thing, some other Israel? Oh, I know. I was watching the other night, some of the Westminster Kennel Club dog show, and there is a breed of dog that is from Israel that I'd never ever heard of. I thought, that's weird. They even have their own dog.
Sierra's making a very important point to us here at McDuff Lives, and thank you for making this post. Brightmore has been a great fan for, 6 years now, my friend? Sierra made the point that I am preferring folks to be on the Rumble channel. Mm-hmm. So it's called McDuff Lives. It's the one with all one word, so no space between McDuff and Lives. Find that channel and follow it, and then you'll get every single show that we do because that's the flagship channel. I have reopened the YouTube channels just because I haven't been able to attract people over to the Rumble channel without going back to YouTube and saying, please, guys, girls, everybody, come over to the Rumble channel. There's a lot of shows that I immediately delete because I've mentioned something that YouTube is going to smack me for. And I'm tired of being smacked over there.
Right.
So I do not prefer YouTube. And so it's great if you can join the Rumble and do the chat on the Rumble, as Sierra is making the point that it's good to have everybody in one place. If you're somewhere where nobody sees your comment except for me, then it's not as easy to interact amongst yourselves whenever we have an opportunity for you guys to talk among yourselves, which is always here at McDuff's Live Friday Chat.
And I'd like a little sidebar there before you go back to what we were talking about or move on to the next topic. And that is, you said guys, girls. Yeah. I would just like to advocate for a gender neutral word that we can use. I don't know. For a long time, I was preferring dude. I thought dude should be gender neutral.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that I mentioned it to go, oh no, you can't do that. Dude's a dude. But anyway.
You could be a dude.
I could be a dude, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. If everybody could be a dude, then we could say dudes, and then you don't have to go guys, girls, oh wait, girls, is not good, and because all of that.
Well, let me just give you a little bit of feedback on this proposal that you've made, that we come up with a one thing, and that is that change occurs is glacial. It takes a long time for people to change.
No. So how quickly did we accept THEIR as a singular gender neutral pronoun? It's wrong.
Wait a minute.
But it is now part of the conversation, and it only took a short period of time.
As a singular gender neutral pronoun.
Yes.
And we've accepted that, you say?
Yes, they.
They've accepted it.
No, they, in quotes. They is now a gender-neutral singular pronoun. It's
Well-
used constantly. It is used so much that there's no getting rid of it now. It's horrible. I hated it. It makes me crazy. Even Ken Jennings on Jeopardy will refer to a contestant as they by request. So he says, and this contestant is Jane Smith. They are from New York City.
Oh, no.
Yes.
See, you hear these. I didn't hear this.
Yes.
I mean, it goes right past me, and I don't notice that we've become amenable to this abuse of the English language in formal conversations like that. Wow.
Yep. So anyway, so dude, I mean, we can get dude as gender neutral if they can get they. Anyway, all right, this sidebar is closed. Although Patriot Designer has validated what I said.
I'll drink to that if you're closing the bar. Let's see. Now I'm lost. Let's see. Patriot Designer. We have.
Well, we were just talking. I mean, we were talking about YouTube and the fact that YouTube is.
Corky, you're a good man. And
so Corky, I can't smack him.
Yeah, folks is gender neutral. It's plural, but it is gender neutral.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
All right, folks, and all y'all.
But what if I said folk?
Then
No, it's still the same.
That's
different.
old. Like,
yeah,
you know,
I heard it as soon as it came out. I could hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, folks is a plural word in old usage.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work anymore, plural.
Yeah.
But Karma Doc has one of my favorites, all y'all.
All y'all.
Yeah.
Exactly. And thank you, Karma Doc, because you know what? I lived in the South for many, many years, and people who aren't from the South accuse Southerners of saying y'all in the singular, and that's not how it works. When somebody in the South says y'all, they mean plural. It's just that if I'm speaking to John and I say, are y'all going to the movie? I don't mean you, John. I mean, John, you and your entourage. But that's how Southerners think, is that you don't do anything in the singular. You do stuff in the plural, so you say y'all. Because Southerners will say you if they're singular, but they'll say y'all or all y'all. But I like that, all y'all. Maybe I'll bring that back into my speech. Y'all.
You know who added a very good word to the English usage of pronouns is the Irish. When the Irish came over here and spoke English, there's no English word that is the cognate of the word that they made up. So they made up a word, and it's use, Y-O-U-S-E. So I know you don't like it. You don't like the sound. It sounds like you know.
It sounds like some kind of a thug.
Use.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was how they adapted.
You's gonna go get some pastrami with me?
Okay, dude. All right, and let's see. What do we have? I'm sorry. Be sure to enjoy the lights of the suspicious AUPs along with the Christmas lights. Yeah,
I'm not sure what AUP stands for.
I'm assuming he means the drones. I'm
AUP. Sorry, I got to Google it.
Okay.
Acceptable use policy?
No, that's not it.
No.
AUP. Well, I think he's talking about the drones.
Okay.
And I don't have anything new to say about the drones. I'm just disgusted that nobody's telling us what they are or who put them there.
I didn't read the whole article, but I did see a headline that New Jersey is banning drones for now.
Banning drones until the election, I think, or until the inauguration, and which they should do, but they still haven't given us any idea of, oh, don't worry about it, it's nothing, you know, the law enforcement, the military knows all about it, and nothing we can do to stop it. It's a free country. All right, who's doing it?
And what is it and why? And what kind of information?
And you know, like Harley says, oh, it's just a distraction, you know, and you know, I think George Webb is like, oh, it's a distraction, but I don't, I don't like being distracted. When I get distracted, you know, it's like I'm saying, who's behind the distraction, because that's going to tell me who's doing the thing they're trying to distract us from.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't go, oh, it's a distraction and move on. Wait a minute. It's a distraction. Who's doing it? Why? Who is the energy behind it? Who's paying the cost? And what is the intent here? You don't just create distractions just for the fun of creating distractions.
No, and it's a very military concept of, you know, feints, you know.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, but I think it's been applied in the private sector more and more.
Cash for clunkers. Remember that? They
No,
got us
not
to
really.
turn in all of our non-computerized cars. It was like, you know, there was a big it was on the media, you know, 25 years ago. You know, so they got rid of all the non-computerized cars that people
Oh, I
could-
thought they just built the cars so that they'd fall apart more quickly.
Well, they call them clunkers, you know, I guess to give you the impression that, oh, it's going to die anyway, just turn it in.
Right.
Well, I hadn't thought
That
of it.
happened to my
thought
white
of it.
Celica. That's why I miss my white Celica.
Oh,
It
no,
just
are we
died.
going to talk about your
I'm
white
sorry. It's just, you know,
I'm sorry. Cars
Okay.
get old.
yeah, I know.
It was a beautiful car.
It was. It was the best car ever. It was a cute little sporty Celica,
Yeah.
5-speed.
Oh, Brightmore, you didn't join White Dudes for Kamala, did you? Tell me you didn't. YouTube grows even with all the censorship. Yeah, that's
That
true.
is so true. It's like people start talking about YouTube, and I go, oh, well, I don't like YouTube because they censor. And, you know, and people go, and blah, 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 YouTube, blah, 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 YouTube, blah, blah, blah. People don't care.
Yeah, and you know, there's a writer whose name is Alexander Torrey, who's I'm connected with. I don't know that her. I believe she's a her personally, but you know, you see each other's posts in various places, and she's a writer, and she's just written an article that's been published in Guardian, which is a website, Off Guardian, and her theme is escaping the panopticon. And the panopticon, you know, meaning the prison that we live in that's visible to the guards 24/7. You know, in other words, the AI, what we've been talking about, or the hive mind, or the Borg, or whatever you want to call it. How can we evade it? How can we escape it? And it's a very thoughtful essay, I think. But one of the things she says is that I think of YouTube as a national highway, a national bulletin board, and where private entities can function. But if we get back to the idea of the internet being an open vehicle for people to use openly, then that's part of the solution. Another part of the solution that she said, she's very much about privacy, is to revive the U.S. Post Office. Because the Post Office was created by the Founding Fathers. It's in the Constitution. The government has to have a post office, and they have to have post roads. And because of those mandates in the Constitution, the government should be providing a secure private communication system to the citizens. It's a constitutional duty. And the idea is that if we follow the Constitution and observe the Bill of Rights and the individual rights that it entails, then a system can be built that responds to the people acting through their Congress, if we can get a hold of that thing again. But that, in other words, it's a very useful, hopeful essay about how we could avoid this. But we've got to get people aware of this impending AI technocracy that's, again, it's accelerating faster and faster every moment.
Well, this whole business about the government, the Constitution requires the government to create this communication system is fascinating because, Trump wants to privatize the post office. And I'm not necessarily against that, though. How do you privatize something?
Trump wants to privatize the post office?
Uh-huh.
You can't do that. It's in the Constitution.
Well, that's why I'm fascinated that you're saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to change the Constitution, or else you'd just be a blatant, scofflaw. That's a terrible idea. That's why I think this essay is important, is that people need to realize that the Founding Fathers already said this is one of those issues. It's like a public utility that needs the government to set the terms.
Mm-hmm.
And the government, if it works correctly, is going to exert the will of the people. And that is, we want our individual rights. We want our privacy. So construct a system that gives us our privacy and we'll be fine.
Wow.
At least I hope we'll be fine. Hey, Charles Howells is here. Hi, Charles. Great to have you, and Merry Christmas to you. And thanks for being here on a Friday with us. Corky says, he's back on his toilet again. Oh, no. I didn't think I wanted to know it's a bidet. Okay.
Bidet.
A bidet.
Yeah, it's a bidet.
Okay, it's a bidet.
Heated
with a heated seat.
I wouldn't mind one of those.
But you don't have AI to have a heater in your seat.
Right. No touch flush. I've never liked those. But I do in public use my foot if I have to touch. Excuse me.
And here's a new commenter. Conspirazin says, people. I love people. But sometimes I'm afraid of people.
Don't get me started.
Oh, Brightmore's got one here. I haven't read it yet. Let's read it aloud. Von Braun's longtime confidant said Werner talked about future psyops by the NWO, including terrorism, bioweapons, and ultimately an alien invasion to finally unite the world. Yeah, and I seen that. It was a woman who did an interview that said exactly that. Von Braun was such an insider. I mean, he could have told us a lot. And he was like being, he was warning us. He was, this was at the end of his career, and he's saying, look, I'm just telling you, this is where we're headed. And we should take heed.
Take heed.
Yeah.
There's a phrase that doesn't get used enough.
And Brightmore says the aliens are attacking thing. They're going to play that, and that's maybe why they put the drones up there to just make people thinking about, oh my God, maybe it could be the aliens. Maybe, we don't know what it is. Maybe the government is already corrupted and they can't tell us, but it's the aliens.
I like that cartoon that has the aliens in their spaceship and you see the stars out the windows, and one of the aliens is saying, okay, everybody, we're passing planet Earth. Lock your doors. That was the joke. Okay, never mind.
I'm sorry. I was waiting for the joke.
Yeah, I know.
UAPs reviewed by F-16 pilot Chris Leto, expert trained observer on our side of the mystery. It's a new term for UFO. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay, it's UAP. Well,
what does it stand for?
Somebody will tell us.
Oh,
you don't have to look it up. We've got a chat room here. They'll tell us.
I know, but you know how I am. It stands for unidentified flying object. Okay. What does UAP stand for? Let's see. Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Okay.
Or unidentified anomalous phenomenon.
So this is where Corky comes in with his cold fusion, and I think probably this has to do with plasma, right? Where you can kind of disappear into the fourth state of matter, which is plasma, and then you can just travel wherever you want to go and unplasma. It's like the cloaking. It's like a cloaking device, but it's really is not just a device. It's actually you reconfigure your craft into plasma, and then that makes it, pretty much unseeable, undetectable. That'd be really fun. I used to read when I was really just starting into this stuff, maybe 10 years ago or more. I was all into the Nazi flying saucers. Oh man, the Haunaboo. And I watched everything I could find on the internet about the Nazi flying saucers, and it made sense to me, that they could, I think they were spinning things one way and the other way, and it was kind of like a gyroscope, only it created the opposing poles like magnetic poles, and by manipulating them against gravity, you can rise up, and then there's all of these electromagnetic waves that kind of go across the Earth from pole to pole. You've probably seen diagrams of the Earth with these waves. So you could ride one of those and just go, thousands of miles an hour, just by throwing your polarity to the other direction, and boom, you're gone. It sounds like a lot of fun, and I haven't seen anybody prove it yet, but Corky's on the case, I'm sure.
And Corky will keep us informed.
Protesters in Hong Kong used lasers to bring down police surveillance drones. So everybody gets lasers for the holidays. Brightmore, you might be getting yourself on a list by saying things like that.
You need to fix your antlers.
Oh, no. Oh, they're falling?
They're falling off.
I'm sorry, guys. Well, geez.
You might need to lose them because they keep, they're mighty cute on you.
I have to wear them.
Okay, there, that's better. Sorry for the interruption.
No problem. Okay, and let's see. Judge Joe Brown, Fannie Willis. That's the woman that was the prosecutor that...
In Atlanta, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, Amber Connor is doing just fantastic work in Atlanta and keeping us informed.
Nice.
Not a joiner by nature. Well, you won't be joining the AI hive mind then.
Resistance is futile.
It's going to be so tempting. You're going to hear that torch voice saying, a little ASMR in there. Oh, resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated.
Yeah. I want to be assimilated. Assimilate me, baby.
Okay.
But I can't say dude. I have to say baby for that one.
Yeah, I think in that context that works okay. But there's one of those that's gender neutral because, I could call you baby too, and that would be okay. I hope.
Oh, I've heard it many, many thousands of times, and I enjoy it. Analog will not be replaced by digital. Well, I hope that you're right about that, Corky. That's what I think. This is the theme of what we've been talking about this morning. Has been, where's the space left for analog? I could talk about music, in this way. Like,
good point. Yeah.
When we did our shows in the past, I would get the guitar and play the guitar, and we would sing, that would give us the music background, the bed that we could sing from. But today, we didn't do that. We used a digital medium to give us a karaoke version, that
But the two still exist.
the two still exist.
They coexist.
But look what happens, though, is it becomes so much easier to just go to your computer and say, give me the backup to Here Comes Santa Claus, and it plays it for you. You don't have to get your guitar out of the case. You don't have to remember the chords. It's just done.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe that will become the standard, but I agree with Corky here. I think that, as long as we continue to recognize the value of analog and use it, then it's going to exist, no matter how hard they try to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. YouTube is Route 666. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you got the mark of the beast? Yeah. Once they get it into your brain, man. Let's see. There's a conversation going on, a sidebar about a former correspondent of mine, which I don't talk about him anymore.
Well, then let's just move on.
Stranded Boeing Starliner's crew return to Earth has been delayed again.
I tell you, I'd be really upset to be up there and have my return. You go up for 8 days, and then then they say, well, we can't get you back, so it's going to be more than 8 days. And, now it's been, I think December makes it 8 months, because originally, I might be getting some of these details wrong, but originally they said, oh, no, you have to stay for 8 months now. And then now they're saying they thought they could get them back in December, but now it's not going to be until March. And that's just creepy.
That's unbelievable. I haven't followed this story at all.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm glad you filled me in.
Yeah, these two astronauts, they went up in the Starliner, and there was some kind of technical glitch. So the craft was returned to Earth without the astronauts because they were afraid the astronauts would be in danger. And they left the astronauts there and said, we'll come back and get you later. And so the craft returned, but they still haven't determined exactly when and how they're going to come back and get those astronauts that were left there. That's a real simplified version of the story.
Okay. I don't understand how you have a space station and you can't get people back and forth to it.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can, but you can't do it easily. I mean, they will eventually get them because they always have.
Well, why don't they just fly up there today and get them and bring them back?
I don't know. They clearly don't have a craft available, or maybe they don't have the money to fly the craft. I don't know.
They sent all the money to Zelensky.
Right.
And
who, by
Charles
the
says
way,
hello. And
Zelensky, I just read this morning that Zelensky in I think a tweet or, a social media post called Putin a dumbass.
yes, it was worse than that. It was, I don't know the exact words, but when I watched my military summary guy this morning, I watched, military updates on a channel on YouTube called Military Summary, and he does a great job, but he was just shocked. He was like, I cannot believe that the leader of a nation would say such a thing to a leader of another nation.
Absolutely.
And he would not repeat the words. He wouldn't. I didn't know that he said dumbass, but he probably said a lot worse things than that, according to Dima at Military Summary Channel. It's it's like throwing those long-range missiles into Russia. They're trying to poke him. They're trying to poke the bear to get him to do something that is that will trigger a nuclear war.
Oh, I see. So instead of going high, they're going to go low by using playground
Yeah, well, nothing else has worked so far.
language.
You know? Yeah.
I read that. I had to read it twice. I had to go back and go, what?
Yeah.
Dumbass. You kidding? That's just, that's
Oh,
crazy.
remember from the Star Trek movie, and who was it? Goes, and a double dumbass on you. Wasn't that Captain
That's
Kirk?
right. That's from Star Trek 4, and they're on the bus. And no, it's Spock is trying to learn how to curse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's Kirk that said, I don't remember. Anyway,
Is it-
but Spock is trying to learn how to use colorful language as he says it. Kirk
So-
finally goes, Spock, I think that you shouldn't try to use colorful language. Anyway, sorry.
It was quite colorful and completely unbelievable to anybody, that, just familiar with general, how do you get along? And
This is the same man who shows up to visit heads of state wearing battle fatigues.
Yeah.
The man makes enough money to buy a suit. And if you're going to go speak in front of at the United States Capitol, in front of the U.S. Congress, you put on a flippin' suit. I'm sorry. You go up there in battle fatigues. It's just baloney. All right, sorry.
Talked about this with Harley yesterday and hello, Donnie. Happy holidays to you.
War of the Worlds, yes.
Yeah, on Sunday, the 30th of October, 1938, the Mercury Theater on the Air began a broadcast in New York of an adaptation from the H.G. Wells novel, War of the Worlds, written 40 years before. It reportedly caused widespread and panic across America, produced by Brian Byrne.
And narrated by Orson Welles.
I don't know how much panic it really caused, but the media drummed up the idea that it caused this huge panic. I mean, people were, fleeing New York City.
That's what I thought was always taught. Even as a child, I was taught that.
Yeah, and maybe it was, but I guess the point is to just get into the popular mind the idea of alien invasion, and to see if they'll actually do things if you say alien invasion. So kind of a pre-programming, programming us to be ready for when they pull the real alien invasion, fake invasion.
Okay. I think in the 30s, the technology was different enough that it would have been harder to prove or disprove. And so people were willing to believe it because there were no social media posts showing otherwise.
Plasmas have been observed, quote, behaving like organisms. Drawn by EMGs, plasma bodies have approached satellites and shuttles. Okay. Sometime there was the famous quote of John Glenn when he was circling the Earth in the early program. What was it? Mercury program, I think it was. And he said that there was all of these glowing things that were alongside him, like flying alongside him. I don't know if he used the word fireflies or what, but it seemed like there was all of this stuff going next to him. I don't know, but yeah, it's certain. The idea of plasma is something we have to talk about, and I wonder if that's not the branch of physics that has been hidden from us. I've read in a number of places lately how there's a whole branch of physics that has been completely obscured and hidden from us on national security grounds. And I think it probably has to do with plasma and some of the things that Corky studies.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, and we're all on the list, but we all didn't get assassinated like General Kirillov got assassinated this week in Russia. And, people like Harley are on the Ukrainian list, they're serious, their SBU list. So that's, very, very deadly, serious business.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, it's noon.
gosh, it's gone by so fast.
It has gone by very fast. Well, Marcia, what a pleasure it was to sing with you today.
It was fun, wasn't it?
It was fun. So let's do it
Thank
again.
you guys for indulging us.
Yeah, and thanks for being with us to today and throughout the year. And we will. I'll be back tomorrow on Monday with MDuff Lives at 11 a.m.
But I won't be back until after Christmas, so I'm going to take this opportunity to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas.
All right. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays, everybody.